Welcome again to Yogaxpress. It's all about moving the body to still the mind. My name is Banu. I'm your host for this program. Once again, Nuriel Exelaza, our director, is holding the fort. Nuriel, I know you're flying solo again. Thank you so much for staying with us, for putting up with me. And Corey Bryce, our facilitator, who's responsible for the studio sounds and the lighting right here. Corey, thanks so much for making us look so good. I'm going to look again into this camera this time. So for your viewers out there who are stretching with us, just know that many of our teachers come here at my request, but also at the request of some viewers who've actually taken the trouble to write to us. So feel free, send us an email every now and then, yogaxpress.com, yogaxpress.com. It's right there on the screen. And send me a mail if you like a particular teacher's teaching, if you like their style. We'll air it for you again. And you just have to check us every morning, Monday morning, not every morning, every Monday morning, 7:30 to 8. Look out for us. You have some amazing teaching styles that many teachers share right here on the mat. And it's not restricted to any one style. So today we have Gina Benson. And Gina, you're going to remind our viewers and me. You feel free to tell us where you train, but is there any particular style of yoga that you've been trained in? I know that you have a very universal teaching.
I actually have developed and acquired a lot of knowledge over the last couple of years. I've only been teaching it'll be 4 years this January.
Wow.
But which feels like a really short time for some reason, because with yoga, and my friend, I think I mentioned her in the last week, my friend who's from Switzerland, she's the one who says, okay, now walk your dog, which is a way of stretching the back of your legs, yeah. She had this beautiful Dharma talk, and in one of the classes that I had taken of hers, and she said how yoga is just like a constant journey, and that's what makes it so exciting, is that there's so much to learn that you're never done learning. And so I love that she said that, because it's so accurate, it's so true, and I feel like there's so much to learn. Some days I wake up and I'm like, I know nothing, and then I'll learn something, I'm like, wow, I know so much, and then the next day there's something else to learn, I'm like, oh my god, I know nothing again. So
yeah, no, that's a very good point, because it really makes me feel, you know how it's like the shower head. 1 millimeter tilt of the shower head actually makes such a big difference. It's like that, and that's why it amazes me that sometimes we talk about basic, intermediate, advanced teaching styles. We talk about postures being basic, intermediate, and advanced, and I have no idea how we decided to classify something as advanced. The posture itself is just a posture. It's a stretch, right?
Yes.
But the way we handle it, do we incorporate breath into it? How do we feel at the end of it? That can make it intermediate or advanced. It could be a very simple stretch, but if we include everything. So I'm not sure that I really ever want to go into the advanced level of postures, because I feel so good. I know, when they talk about all the floating ones, the kukudas and the rooster and everything, just I'm sort of anti-gravity. I don't like anything that takes me off of the floor. I want to be in touch.
I hear you
all
on
the
that.
time. So I hope you're not going to make me fly or levitate today, are you?
Not too much. I mean, we're definitely going to work on our neck and just like some fluid movement and of understanding what's happening in our spine. I think it's so important, because really every movement comes from the trunk, from our spine.
Yeah,
and then it moves outward to our other fingers. I mean, just like the nervous system. Our brain is here. We have a spinal column, and then we have all our nerves and everything that lives inside of the spinal column. And then it branches out to things that are a little farther away, and then even farther and farther away.
You're also an Ayurveda counselor, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so
Correct.
because I know you talk about the spine a lot. In an Ayurveda, we call them nadis.
Yes.
The nerves.
Yep.
The 72,000 nerves of
Absolutely.
nature. Okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, so come to a comfortable seat.
Is it okay to sit on my knees?
Absolutely.
When you said comfortable, this is for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have trouble sitting like that because for some reason it makes my legs fall asleep. I think because I'm cutting off circulation one way or another.
Right.
So this is more comfortable for me. And what we're gonna do here is everyone's gonna grab take their hands, and you're gonna take your thumbs underneath your chin and and I'm gonna just turn around for just a moment so you can see, and you're gonna take your fingertips to the back of your skull. So your thumbs are on your chin, and your fingertips are on the other 4 fingers are on your skull.
I just strangled myself.
I know, be careful, don't strangle yourself. So you're just at the bottom of the jawline, I should say. And what you're gonna do here is gently, the keyword is gently here, is gently take the neck back, or the front of your jawline back, and then extend through the back of your head. So I'll show that one more time so the view of the camera can see it this way. So naturally my neck comes forward. Most people, their neck comes forward. So we just want to retract. This is protracting. When we take the chin forward, retracting is taking the neck back. So take your thumbs below your jawline, fingertips behind the head, and just draw the thumbs back towards your the back of your skull, and then press up on the back of your skull with your fingertips. And that should lengthen out the back of your neck.
It's a nice massage, too.
It's really nice. We have that occipital ridge there. The base of our skull sits right there. And so that's where, and I think in last week's class I was talking about let go of the back of the neck, let go of the back of the neck, because we actually hold so much, I mean, maybe I'm talking from a personal experience, but most people hold a lot of tension in the back of their neck, and it sits right at the base of their skull.
Right.
So just do that a few times, see how that feels. Just lengthening through the spine, through the cervical spine, your neck. And then if this is difficult to do, the one other option that you can do is take your hand to your chin and just press the chin back. So now we're gonna form double chins here, and this might be very funny for you if you're viewing this at home. And if you're doing it at home, it's very funny too. But we're gonna work on the strength of our neck. So draw the chin back, make that double chin, and relax your shoulders. And then from here, keep the double chin and very gently turn to the right. Come back through center. If you lost the double chin, just help yourself come back. It's such a funny way of saying it. Retracting, what I mean is to retract your skull. And then we'll look over our left shoulder. So let's just do this a few times. The front of your neck might start to feel a little tired. And what that is right now, to hold up the back of our head, we require a lot of strength in the front of our neck. So when we're in something like a back bend, a heart opening pose, and we let the head drop back, we really require strength in the front of our throat or in the front of our neck to lift up our heavy skull. Banu, how much does our skull weigh? Like 12 pounds?
Anywhere between 8 and 14 pounds.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's that's a bowling ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Between 8 and 14.
So we'll do it about one more time each. Oh, look, my shoulders are hiking up. This is a good correction. Draw the shoulders away.
It's a nice stretch for the back. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Good.
And this is active stretching. We'll come back through center. That's where we'll meet. And just relax. Take a couple of breaths here. Just notice how your neck feels. Even the back of your neck, like you said, you're feeling a stretch there. This is active stretching. While one muscle is contracting and working really hard, another muscle is releasing. And that goes for everything. And I think we've talked about this before as well. Like when you lift your kneecaps in a forward fold and engage your quadriceps, the upper part of your thigh, you actually lengthen the back of your leg, and that helps you in a forward fold.
I think it's called part of kinesiology, right?
Yeah.
You strengthen one muscle, you stretch the other one.
Yeah, I like that. All that like biomechanics, kinesthetics.
Exactly.
I love that. So we're going to do it one more time. You're going to retract your neck back. If you'd like to do this, where you catch your skull with your fingers and just draw everything back. And then tuck the chin in. Create that double chin. And then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. So instead of glancing, you're just going to tilt the head to the side. And you're keeping a double chin. I can see myself and I'm like, it's very funny. And then we'll come back through center. Oh, my shoulders even look crooked. Draw them down. Retract the chin again and drop your ear to your left shoulder.
So this is stretching the side of my neck?
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that on the side of your
I do.
neck?
That's why I want to be sure I'm stretching the correct muscle.
And then you'll come back through center. Just do that a couple times. We'll do it one more time on each side. So if you're moving slowly like me, it'll be about 3 times. Just make sure you do it about an even amount on both sides. And only as far as your head will go. If the head only goes this far to the side. I mean, some people can actually, I don't know how. They must have such long, tendons and ligaments in their neck that just allow them to flap over to one side. I don't have that flexibility of my neck. And then we'll meet back in center. And then just relax and just notice how your neck feels. So this can also be done on your back, which I want to completely avoid today because being on your back, just because now gravity is just against you when you're on your back and having to lift your head and look to the right and the left. And it's so much work on the front of your neck. But if it's something that you want to work towards and just strengthening the front of your neck, it's really healthy. As we get older, we start to lose these muscles.
Yeah.
And then it becomes harder to lift our head in bed. Right? To lift our head and see what's going on. It's like a baby. If you think of a baby, you have to always hold their head until they are able to build the muscles in the front of their throat.
True.
Right? You have to hold their head until they learn to lift up on their own.
So they're not strong enough right there.
Yeah, because the head is so heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're sitting here. If you need to change your seat position, if you need to prop your hips up on a pillow, you can do that. We're going to be here for probably a couple more minutes. Is that okay, Banu?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you're going to take an inhale in. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your hands out in front of you and round your upper back. Drop your chin towards your chest. Retract your chin. Make that double chin and really round the spine here. And then as you inhale, open your arms to the side and lift up through the chest, and maybe without hurting the back of your neck or crunching the back of your neck, take the gaze towards the ceiling and then use your neck muscles, the strength in the front of your neck, to lift your face back to normal or back to center and then round your back. So we're using those muscles that we just worked out in our neck to lift our head back and forth. Inhaling and lifting through your chest. Gazing towards the ceiling if you can. Exhaling, rounding the back, tucking the chin towards the chest, and shining the crown of your head towards the front of the room. Should feel like a nice stretch across your back body or between your shoulder blades on the exhale. And then on the inhale, opening up the heart. Drawing the shoulder blades together and lifting through the chest. So when you draw your shoulder blades together, it actually supports your upper back. It supports your thoracic spine. And then as you exhale and you round the back, so you're spreading those shoulder blades. Do this a few more times. My arms are starting to feel tired from being held up this long. Notice any other sensation you might be having here.
I just realized I can feel a little pop in my back, which is good because that means I haven't done this stretch in a while.
A pop? Like in your spine
like
cracking?
An air pocket.
Oh,
Yeah,
an air pocket. Wow. We'll exhale one more time.
Just goes to show I've got to do this more often.
So this is we also do this in cat-cow, right? This is that cat-cow movement that we do.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I was thinking the cat-cow as a spinal undulation forward and back, but the arms
The
also
arms are
feel
so.
good.
The
They
arms
feel
are.
very
Yeah,
good,
the arms
yeah.
are. But the flexion and extension of
Right,
our
right,
spine
right,
is what we
exactly.
do in cat cow. It's kind of
Right.
nice to do that.
Exactly.
Inhale, lift up one more time, and then exhale and just be with your breath. Notice the sensation. Your arms might feel tired, like mine. I know I feel like heavy right now.
One of my other teachers would say it's really good to stretch the tricep. She calls this the bye-bye muscle.
The bye-bye muscle.
After a while, it says bye-bye.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Practice those chaturangas and they won't go away. So what's funny is that when we do this, this is flexion of the spine. Anything where the spine is curving forward, and then when the spine is lifting through the chest, this is called extension because we're extending the front body, and then we're flexing the front body as we round. So and then we have other movements in our spine like lateral extension, which is the side of the side body stretching, or the side. If we can go really deep into our spine, you'll see that actually the vertebrae open on the side, and then heading to the other side. So it's so funny because we really forget that, but that's really the point of yoga. Yoga is just to decompress the spine, and then the other movement of the spine is twisting. So our spine can twist, and the bigger the vertebrae are, the harder it is to twist in that section. The smaller the vertebrae are, the easier it is because there's smaller parts and there's so much more room to move. So like your head, you can turn it all the way over, but now when you're turning your chest, you can only turn it so much. And then when it's your lower back, you can hardly turn it at all because the vertebrae are really thick and dense. So one more thing I wanted to talk about was that we have adrenal glands that sit above our kidneys, and that's the targeted spot when we round our back and then inhale and lift through our chest, because it's the middle back where our kidneys sit, or right above the kidneys, that are either stretched or compressed by our body in the movement. So heart openers help us to feel more alert, more awake.
Right.
And rounding the back makes us feel more calm.
Yeah.
So it's helping you. So this is a really great exercise for adrenal, like flushing the adrenal glands.
So first thing in the morning.
It's so great. It's so great. So let's make our way onto our knees and head into cat-cow. So stack your hips over your knees and your shoulders over your wrists. Take an inhale here with your head as a natural extension of your spine. Exhale and keep your pose here. And then on the next inhale, bend your elbows slightly. Take your chest through your biceps. Lift the crown of your head and your tailbone towards the ceiling. As you exhale, round the back. Press the floor away from you and spread the shoulder blades across your back body. Let go of the back of your neck. Inhale and extend through the heart. Lift through the crown of the head. Exhale and round the back. This pose feels, I think for me at least, this is a personal experience, and you can form your own opinion on this. But when I do that pose, that movement, that spinal movement that we just did, when I come into my cat-cow, I feel so much more mobile and lubricated in my spine.
That was exactly the perspective I was going to share with you a few minutes ago, and I said, okay, I shouldn't interrupt because I'm enjoying it so much.
Oh, that's so good.
But you're right, it was a great preparation for the cat.
It's so nice to just move the body like this. So we'll just do a few more cat-cows here. And on your next inhale, we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop. Tuck your toes and send your hips back for downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. As my friend Nora says, just pedal at the back of your legs and take your dog for a walk. Inhale and roll forward into your plank. So you'll use your your feet here to press the body forward. Keep your heart lifted, your back lifted, and now drop your knees to the mat. We're going to come on all the way onto our belly. So you can just lower all the way down. Nice. So Bonnie, you actually might want to scoot back a little bit so we can still see you.
Oh yes, Nuriel will have, literally have my head.
So what you're going to do here is you're going to take your fingertips a little wider than shoulder width. So maybe right where your elbows would come out to. So right below your elbows at these right angles. So you can actually probably take your hands off the mat, Banu. Off the mat.
Oh,
off to the sides. Okay. Yep. Take your forehead to the floor. And on an inhale, draw your shoulders together and down the spine and lift up through your chest. Maybe extend the arms completely. If you can't do that because you're feeling tension in the lower back, keep the bottom ribs knit on the floor. That'll keep the lower back stable. Exhale and come back down. Inhale and lift up through the chest. Exhale, come back down. Do this one more time. Inhale, lift up through your chest. Exhale, release back down. Take your hands in next to your chest and prepare for Bhujangasana or our Cobra pose, which we are used to doing. And then inhale and lift up. Exhale, release back down. Tuck your toes and send your hips back to a child's pose. So we did all of that heart opening, and I'm just gonna, Banu, you'll go into a child's pose, and I'll just speak to the camera, because sometimes I think it's hard to hear when my face is in the carpet. But I want you to take some time here to breathe into that middle back. So even if your heels, even if your seat doesn't get all the way back to your heels, try to release your forehead to the floor. And you can even relax your arms, Banu. You don't have to, if you want to open your legs a little more, you can do that too.
I can get that.
Yeah, nice. And just relax the elbows. This is a relax. This isn't an engaged child's pose. And just feel your side body expand. Your belly doesn't really have anywhere to move when your thighs are in the way, right? Your legs are in the way. So you have to breathe. You have to take that breath and move the body towards the back side, or up towards the ceiling in this case. And just keep breathing into that middle back. And right about here, and I'm just going to point really quickly, right about here are Banu's kidneys, and right above that are her adrenal glands. So this is such a grounding, calming pose. Fun fact, our adrenal glands produce several hormones, like adrenaline. That's what makes us sometimes feel like, whoa, this rush of like, whoa, like I can do anything, or I feel so excited. It also produces and releases cortisol, which is our fight or flight hormone. So our stress hormone. And for most people, it also produces estrogen. That's more so for women as they go through the change of life. But the adrenal glands are really important to take care of. And they're associated with our root chakra. So they keep us grounded. So this pose, this child's pose that targets her kidneys and adrenal glands, this is so good for that. So we'll just stay here for a few more breaths. Feel the side of your ribs expanding.
I was going to say, I really feel that under my, in my upper back on the side.
Yes. And when you're ready, you'll help yourself back onto all four. Cross your ankles behind you. And then if you can, sit back, or if you need to, sit off onto your side and swing your legs out in front of you. So no floating today.
No floating, thank you.
We'll take the soles of our feet together in bound ankle pose. Draw the soles together and open up the soles of the feet like a book. Take an inhale and sit up tall. Exhale and fold over your legs. And keep your heart lifted as much as you can. And then eventually you'll feel the need to round your back, and that's okay to do that. Again, that's that rounding motion that we did.
I was looking at the teleprompter.
Yes, yes. Stay here for one more inhale and exhale. And inhale and rise. Well, Banu, that's it.
Feels
We were very
good.
parallel for most of the class, so I wanted to do a little hip opening at the end.
That actually felt wonderful, and I'm wondering, since we have another minute, maybe you can help me realign my thoughts on this. I'm wondering if I were to sit, for instance, when I do the cobbler posture that you just
Yes.
shared, I can get my knees down, but I'm not able to go forward. So would it help me if I sat on a little bit of
Yes.
height? It would.
It would help you.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's just the if it's posterior or anterior tilt in
Right,
your
right,
pelvis.
right. I
So
don't
yeah.
have enough of a tilt, so I thought, okay, maybe.
Yeah,
I
you have to
should
send
cheat
your
a
hips, you have to send your sit bones back
Right,
behind
right.
you.
It's a little bit hard, and I guess it's a matter of practice too.
Do you don't have lower back problems then?
No,
Yeah, you probably
no,
have a
at
great
this point
lower
I
back.
don't.
People
Yeah.
who have that anterior tilt have.
Oh, is that right?
They have
because they're
lower
always
back
tipping
problems.
back.
Yeah, they're pinching the back of their body.
Well, we still have about 30 seconds. Thanks to our director, Nuriel Exelazo. Nuriel, thank you so much. We love you, man, for hanging in there, staying with us. And thank you to Corey Bryce, our facilitator. Thanks so much, Corey, for making everything look so beautiful right here. Cesar de Para has given us that beautiful drum beat sound, the body of the music, the body music in this program. On behalf of all of these folks, I'd like to thank Gina Benson.
Thank
Gina, our
you.
guest teacher, thank you so much.
Thank
Really
you so
enjoyed that.
much.
You know, I'm always enjoying this time here, right here on the mat, because besides introducing amazing teaching talent like yourself, I get a free class out of this.
Yay!
So feels good. Feels good.